to His Excellency Ambassador James Moran for his very dedicated work. Jim and myself have been in touch through all that process many times, talking to each other, meeting, faxing, texting, you name it, for quite a period of time, trying to realize this dream, I would say. And Jim, it is happening now and today. So thank you for your efforts on that case, and give a cheer to everybody. To all our friends in the European Union, thank you for being here, dear ambassadors, and attending with us this very special event. I take this opportunity, I seize this moment actually to say that we are really looking forward for your help, for the help of the EU, to revive back the interest in our country in tourism again. This country and this part of Egypt has been deprived from the business, the tourists coming to this part. And we believe with these positive events and looking forward to the future when Egypt will be continuing its roadmap and finishing it very soon in the coming few weeks and months. I look forward that next season, November 2014, is the start of the winter season in this part of Egypt in particular, that by then the business will come back, and I rely very much on all our friends in the EU and the ambassadors here in Cairo to help us realize this goal and this request to happen in the coming period. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for that. I cannot leave the podium before I thank my very best friends and colleagues, His Excellency, the Minister of Antiquities, Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad, for helping us realize this dream happen. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your contribution. You are an excellent guide this morning so far. We will not forget to tip you as well. James, please, the floor is yours.
Samal here. Everyone. Thank you, dear Hisham, dear Minister, and let me say what a great pleasure it is to be here today with so many of my colleagues from the European Union and others from the diplomatic community in Cairo. It's a very special occasion. I want to echo the thanks that the Minister has just given to the Antiquities, of course, to thank the army for behind all of this, and also to him, been tireless in his efforts to support this project. The European Union got involved 18 months ago when we had a major event in Cairo, which was the EU Task Force, which was an attempt to bring together all of the different parts of the European Union to support this country. To mark that event, the European Union facilitated the importation of the replica, which has been made after the work done here. King Tutankhamun facilitated the importation of the replica and working together with our partners and Dr. Marty, it's really good to see that it has finally arrived where it should be, here in its resting place, here outside the house of Howard Carter. The European connection with this part of the world is known to everyone. It's where the very first European mass tourism began in Luxor in the late 19th century. It is all of the archaeological missions which are so active here. It is the work of people like Howard Carter in the past. And last but not least, it is of course the extremely important role that European tourism has played in the development of this area over the last few years. The Minister has just touched on that. We know very well that this area has suffered more perhaps than any other from the events of the last 2 years and the negative effects that these have caused on tourism. We are here today, all of us from the European Union, to celebrate this event together with our partners, but also to send a message that this area is a wonderful place to visit, a good place to visit, And now with this tomb in place, an even more interesting place to visit for tourists in the future. Of course, it will depend very much on how the political events play out in the next few months. As the country, we hope very much will return to business as usual. But I share and I echo again Minister Zazu's point about next season. Let's hope for a better season next year, because we know how crucial this is to the development of this area and to the sustainability of this area. And finally, not to forget the very important role that the replica will play so far as preservation, conservation of this absolutely fantastic and unique heritage that this country has is concerned. It will play a very important part. We'll hear more about that later on. People who really know, and one who really does know is the Minister of the Antiquities, Mohammed Ibrahim, who's the next up on the stage. So, shukran jazilan. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, your name, please, your name.
James Moore.
Good afternoon, everybody. Excellency, Minister of Tourism, His Excellency General Tariq Saladin, Governor of Sultan, Lieutenant James Warren, Ambassador of the European Union to Egypt, Excellencies, Ambassador of the foreign countries to Egypt, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to gather here today to witness the new experience that takes place for the first time in Egypt. Ancient Egypt, the birthplace for one of the world's greatest civilizations. It was far more advanced than the European tribes of the same time period who were still in the Stone Age. The extraordinary duration of the Egyptian civilization has guaranteed it as a special place in the history of mankind. For almost 40 centuries, Egypt possessed unchanging stability and political system. The history of Egypt begins about 3200 BC, when the ancient Egyptians invented the art of writing. Egypt's future lies its history, particularly its archaeological history. For hundreds of years, the mystery and wonders of the pyramids, sphinx, the temples, the Valley of the Kings, and the museums have attracted visitors from around the world. The royal tombs in the Valley of the Kings in Luxor are among the oldest and most precious cultural treasures of humanity. The damage caused by the enormous increase of visitors in modern times is a real threat to these tombs due to dust, humidity, increase, and mechanical damage. Therefore, it was necessary to conduct adequate measures to protect these royal tombs from further destruction. For this reason, the Society of Friends of Royal Tombs of Egypt was created in 1988. Its aim was to support the Supreme Council of Antiquities, which is now the Ministry of Antiquities, by proposing